Your imposter syndrome experience is holding you back. Don't believe me? Stick around and find out how. If you're familiar with imposter syndrome, you know it's that unique self-doubt that makes you look around and think, today's the day they're going to figure out I'm a fraud. But maybe you're unaware of the different ways that imposter syndrome is actually holding you back. And I've got 4 ways where you can identify how imposter syndrome is holding you back, shrinking you back, and preventing you from reaching your greatest potential. The first one is procrastination. I think sometimes I have elevated that to an art. But procrastination is a natural response where when you head into a project or a task, or you have in your mind a vision of where you'd like to go, and you know the steps that it takes to get there, but maybe you're not entirely sure of exactly how to do, you procrastinate. You suddenly decide that everything else is way more important, way more significant, way more urgent than actually doing the work that is required to get to where you want to be. You head into a project and you think, ooh, I'm not sure, so that I'm sure of. I can do that. And in fact, sometimes procrastination looks somewhat noble because you can fill that time that you are procrastinating, you fill it with activity. It's good activity. I mean, cleaning out your inbox is a good activity. Doing the laundry, good activity. But when those good activities take the place of the necessary activities that you must do, when you intentionally procrastinate, that's detrimental. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that. And the other downside of procrastinating is that you will procrastinate as long as is possible, and you'll get to a point in time where you think, oh my gosh, I've got to get this done like by tomorrow. Or somebody asks you, so hey, how's that project coming? And you freak out and you jump into overdrive mode. In fact, you get a colossal amount of work done in a tiny amount of time. And you actually do okay. Well, you either could do okay, and in that case, you'll be like, phew, that was close. They almost figured out I really didn't know how to do this. But if you don't do okay, then your fallback position is, well, yeah, because I did it to myself. I would have done better if I'd started sooner. It is lose-lose in your own mind. So procrastination is one of those ways that holds you back. Another way that imposter syndrome holds you back is actually almost the exact opposite of procrastination. It's overworking and overpreparing. Now, this is doing a colossal amount of work in a much longer period of time. And the thinking is, as you go into a project, you think to yourself, I'm not really sure exactly how to start or what to do. So I'm going to do a whole lot of work. I'm going to create this massive plan of action. I'm going to anticipate obstacles and overcome them. I'm going to create fake obstacles and overcome those in my head. I'm going to have this detailed plan, send out emails, conduct meetings, do research, do this colossal amount of over-preparing, identifying every little detail that needs attention, and do the work. It's not done until it's overdone. And much like the procrastinator, you get to a point where the job is done and you most likely will have knocked it out of the park. Very rarely will you over-prepare and have it fail. However, in the process of over-preparing, oh my gosh, look at everything else you are missing out on. Missing out on time with yourself, time with your friends, missing out on expanding your horizons, learning other skills, missing out on just being relieved of the pressure to overperform and overprepare and overdeliver. Now, is it wrong to over-deliver, under-promise and over-deliver? No, it happens all the time in the business world, but But when it becomes your way of life, when it becomes your identifying characteristic, when it becomes the thing that you hang your life esteem on, that's where it's going to hold you back. Another way that imposter syndrome holds you back is when you fly under the radar. You do things on the down low. Now, you might be a busy worker bee, and you might have your head down, nose in a book, getting things done. But maybe you're given the chance to rise up or speak up or stand up or show up. And that might be a little too risky for you. Maybe there might be a chance of failure or doing something wrong or experiencing shame. So you choose instead to stay small, under the radar, that unseen, unheard presence. Steady Eddie, for sure. But sometimes inside of you, you still live with this, what if I did more? Am I capable of more? What if I took a chance? But then the other side of your brain screams, no! What if you fail? Just stay under the radar. I've been guilty of this myself. I was in a volunteer organization, and part of the experience was to step into leadership roles, official, elected, and sometimes appointed responsibility roles that were visible, ongoing, and significant. But sometimes I thought, oh, I don't know if I could do it. I think I'll just contribute to the organization down here. I'll contribute when I want. I'll contribute how I want, on my schedule, in my agenda, at my convenience, because I used to say it was because I didn't have time. I really think it's because I didn't believe I had the ability or the competence. But thinking back, for goodness sakes, it was just a volunteer organization. It was a nonprofit. It's not like the stability of the world is in the balance. Yet I still stayed under the radar. So that's another way that imposter syndrome shows up in your life and can hold you back. And finally, the fourth way that imposter syndrome can show you back, can hold you back. See, there I did. I made a mistake and I just let it go. The fourth way that it can hold you back is in when you strive for perfectionism or total, like you want to be the expert, not just an expert, but the expert. Oh, and more specifically, the Lone Ranger. If you are a solopreneur, if you are, an individualist, if you are that rugged, I'm going to conquer it myself and I'm going to do it well and I'm going to do it all, that holds you back because seeking perfection is really time consuming. It sucks up your time. It sucks up your energy. In some cases, it sucks up your finances. It just sucks your resources dry. And when you live in that constant state of striving and perfecting and seeking knowledge and expertise, you miss out on so much. You miss opportunities. You feel this sense of obligation instead of joy in pursuing knowledge. And if you choose to do it alone, if you're that rugged individualist, if you are that soloist, if you are that Lone Ranger type, you miss out on the joy of camaraderie. Is that a word? Working closely with, enjoying camaraderie with other people. I mean, you just miss out on those rich relationships and the ability to learn from others and to teach others and to just build memories together. You miss out on all of that if you are that sole entrepreneur, that sole artist, that sole whatever, that, I'm going to do it alone. The thinking is, and it's flawed thinking, the thinking is if I really was smart, I shouldn't need help. I shouldn't need to ask somebody to join me or help me or assist me or coach me or train me or mentor me. I should be able to figure this out on my own. But there's no shame in reaching out. There's no shame in sharing the experience. I love to say you enjoy the journey when others join your journey. And maybe you've also even heard it said that if you want to go fast, do it alone. But if you want to go far, do it with others. So those are the 4 ways that imposter syndrome can be holding you back. Maybe you've seen some evidence of that in your life. If so, I invite you to check out my other resources at maureenz.com and learn how you can both rethink your imposter syndrome experience and get yourself through it. Find these strategies so that you can match your confidence to your competence and unleash your influence.